use your skull as a bowl. Who will never ever sell their soul? No. Who's stoking up the coals of hell? Who cannot be controlled? You know it's we three trolls, we three trolls. Now don't you get your overalls in a twist, y'all, but this podcast ain't endorsed by that world-famous comedy store or any kind of world-famous nothing. These three folks are just too rude, you hear? Who goes to the grassy knoll on an evening stroll? You know it's we three trolls, we three trolls. Yee-hoo! Get ready to be offended, y'all.
Recording for real. We got Eric Andrade here. All eyes on me.
I'm back.
LA is your tag on Instagram. He's a photographer. He's a real perv. He takes pictures of all these homeless people.
He's a peeping Tom.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And they're like, hey, I'm just trying to take a shit on the street in public, you fucking asshole. Why are you taking a picture of me right now?
Some people would say that.
Partner here.
What kind of disgusting person photographs someone who is taking a shit on an innocent building?
Well, there's some truth to that, and there isn't some truth to that. So it's definitely 50-50. Damn, now that I look at it like that, I'm like, shit, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
You're
I look
a
at it
great
like
photographer,
that.
by the way.
Doing the Lord's
thank you.
work.
Appreciate it.
Really, you
Thank
are
you.
great. The recent one I saw was of the homeless guy that got beat up in downtown LA, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I mean, I heard some things about this, but I didn't really realize that there's a lot of gang initiations that happen, and most of these people that are in gangs are like younger dudes that are fucking tards that are just trying to get in, right? So what's your easiest target? You just go downtown LA, go to Skid Row, and you fuck some homeless people up. Like, there's some sick obsession with people fucking homeless people up. It's just too easy, right? Because who are they gonna call?
Who are they gonna
I mean,
call?
it's definitely...
Social worker? Who the fuck are they gonna call?
There's a lot of gang and drug dealing anyway going on, right?
Yeah, downtown LA, that's downtown has
so
that...
dangerous.
Well, starting from, Central Avenue all the way up to Hill Street.
Yeah.
From 5th and 6th, that's just that's where all of that stuff happens. And of course, there's other stuff going on outside around there. But people think I'm kind of crazy when I say like there's gangs in downtown Los Angeles. They're like, there's no gangs, there's crackheads down there. I'm like, dude, just go to 5th and Broadway, and you'll see people posted up outside on 5th and Broadway.
They sell drugs.
Yeah,
right?
so yeah,
who's buying drugs?
It's homeless people.
Yeah, it's homeless people.
Yeah.
Like, that's all they look for. I get some of them, not all of them.
Just listening to like the news on the radio or whatever, and they were talking about how it's not just tents of homeless people. You have people down there who are just dealing out of tents too.
Yeah, no. Well, one of the things is that you don't know who's homeless and who's a drug dealer, who's a hustler, who's a pimp, who's down there to completely take advantage of a vulnerable society.
Well, I would assume they're not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I would assume they're not wearing a mask.
No, they're not.
So.
No. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't even wear a mask outside. I don't do it anymore. If I'm out photographing, I don't wear a mask anymore.
I only wear mine when I'm going through an overpass and there's homeless people and I want to smell their piss and shit. And then I'm like, oh, this makes sense now. Now I don't want to get the disease here.
I wear a mask when I go into a grocery store or I'm going to be in close quarters with a lot of people inside.
Yeah.
And that's when
I wear my mask when I'm
don't.
alone in the car and there's not even anyone around to infect. You fucking retards! I'm
just
so worried about
the
that
message you're sending. Just think of how many people are in virtue signal. I'm like, hello, I'm wearing a mask and I'm by myself.
Fucking retarded! God damn it, these motherfuckers' right to vote is the same as mine. It counts the same. That's why I don't fucking vote, dude. A fucking retard. You are retarded because I have to rant about this because I saw it on the freeway all the time when I was driving up here for a fucking hour. These fuckers, their vote counts as much as yours and mine. And mine is actually educated. I watch the news.
Oh,
and filter through what I see. These retards can't watch the news because the news told you already fucking 9 months ago. You wear the mask to protect others from yourself. So if you're alone, you shouldn't be wearing a fucking mask. You're a fucking pervert if you wear a fucking mask.
Yeah,
That's
really.
fucking creepy, dude. Man, I never saw masks before this except on Halloween and when I was with some freaky ass bitches that wanted to hide their identity even from me. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking dumb shit, dude. It's not real. By now, we should realize it's not real. When the election's over and it just miraculously disappears like the fucking mosquitoes and other fucking plagues of lies that they fucking shit on us for a whole year.
That one woman, who's the California one? The one who looks like the dude.
Oh,
the
Barbara
one who looks like
Fessler,
yeah,
Barbara, whatever her fucking name is.
She looks like she just stared into the fucking Ark of the
I
Covenant.
posted a video. I just posted a video about her with a mask on, with a clay mask on, with what was white. I was doing whiteface. I put the clay mask on with a bunch of other like flair. I was like, nah, it needs more flair. I kept putting more flair on there. And I still felt bad tagging
She
her.
looks like the guy in
I felt bad
Poltergeist
tagging her
3.
Wait. Who is this? Who is this?
Yes, I do.
Her
Who is
name
this?
is Barbara. She's the chief, LA County's chief public health person.
She looks like a ghoul, dude. She's ghastly.
she's
She
specific-
looks like Edgar Winter. That's what she looks like.
She's super pale and
Yes.
yeah.
She looks like a White Walker.
Yeah, she looks
know,
like a.
It's
Looks
fucking
like
Care.
some motherfucker said Beetlejuice 3 times and
She
looked in
looks
the
like
mirror.
a White Walker who needs a walker.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, she's ghastly.
Now I know what you're talking about.
But
She
The public.
switched the numbers with somebody and her head fucking shrunk and she got a perm all of a sudden
Yeah.
and she's got this white masked face. Like, it's fucking
She
weird.
was the one who, like, when
Who
she
voted
was
for that?
when she
I'm
was
so
talking
mad.
about.
I don't
like,
even know. I have no idea. That's how dumb I
Somebody
am.
look at that person who was like, that represents me. There's some ugly motherfuckers out there, dude. Fucking shit, dude.
She just like let it slip out when she was like, oh well, we probably won't be able to know about when to open schools until after the election.
Yeah, I remember when she said that. I was just thinking,
Why
like,
would you choose that date?
like why of all the days, of all the times of the year,
yeah.
and
you
now
could
we'll
just say
know
the
when everything can
beginning
open
of
up after this
November,
election. So,
or you could say at mid-November. But when you specifically say until after, it's like
Well,
that's
Trump did
that's
say
a
it's going to
tell.
disappear just like that. And I'm like, oh, that's what he
you know,
meant.
it's
He meant-
politically motivated, and you know, it
If I
does
was a
feel
Q
like that
person,
now.
that's what I would be
It
like.
feels like that, you know.
He said
And some people are still buying it, you know, and it's
Really
when I heard them
good.
say that, like you said, when I heard
They're
her say
buying
about
it and selling it and saying, "Hey, I'm blah blah blah, or this famous person, and I've been paid to tell you to put a mask on, and I've been paid to tell you how to live your life."
yeah,
Fuck you.
I wanna know-
Meanwhile, they're in their fucking fancy billion-dollar houses,
Yeah.
like $1 million houses with pools.
you ever been
on
to
the hills.
Garcetti's house? You ever been to around there? I went there and
He has yet to
in
invite me.
July. No, well, you know what I mean. Come on, man. You understand
Yeah, I took
what
a
I'm
shit
trying-
on his lawn.
I went over there. I egged his wife's car. You know. Yeah, but it's a
what area
nice.
of town does he live
It's
in?
Hancock Park. It's a
Oh,
nice
yeah,
neighborhood.
okay. I exactly know where that is.
But there was a big protest down there, and it was during COVID. Just like I think it was early May, when everything was still shut down like
for
crazy.
St.
And
George Floyd.
yeah.
George J. Jack
Saint
Kennedy
George.
Floyd.
Saint George's
whatever
funeral.
the fuck his name is. Yeah, he had a really
it was
nice
early
casket.
May. It wasn't late. It was early May, and it.
Died of an overdose.
And it was,
a knee to his head.
Whoa, there we go.
Combo.
We're getting into it. Oh shit, we're fucking.
He had a lot of comorbidities happening. One was swallowing a bunch of fentanyl and methamphetamines, and
I just figured he died of COVID, you know.
and he had COVID too.
My God.
He had COVID too.
Oh my
And
goodness. This guy over here.
Mix of police brutality. He had a knee to his neck, but he asked for it. He literally was asking for it.
All right.
Which is weird.
All right.
But
So.
anyway.
But I wanted to ask you though,
Okay.
just because if you there's some really good analysis I've looked at of the data,
Yeah.
of, you know, across Europe and America and South America, like really wide-reaching shit. But when I think locally, everybody had to make the assumption that if this thing was so deadly, it was going to ravage the homeless community.
God, dude.
We were praying for it, actually.
I was legitimately
Sorry, I'll
because
speak
I
for myself.
live, you know, on 5th and Los Angeles Street. and it goes Los Angeles, Maple, Wall, San Julian, San Pedro town, and that's the area of where it's all going down. And I just remember like a couple weeks before everything started closing down. I was just like, oh my God, if this is as bad as they're saying, like this doctor went on Joe Rogan, he was saying all this stuff, and I was just like, holy shit, dude, this is going to be fucking madness down there. It's going to be a goddamn disaster. It's going to be a humanitarian disaster. and
by
Dr.
the way,
Phil,
that's
I can't.
Hey man, it's going to be really bad. It's going to be real bad.
If you are looking, just to give context for people who are
These guys are
perhaps
already
don't
down
know.
the dump.
Mm-hmm. If you look,
Literally in their own dumps.
If you thought it wasn't a humanitarian crisis already, and now you're thinking, holy shit, this might be bad.
Well, what I mean,
that
it's
means
going to
that
go from
it's going to
bad
be fucking
to
a disaster, right?
What I mean is that it's going to go from bad to just like, oh fuck, there's going to be, it's going to be the worst thing, the worst American tragedy.
Right.
It already
and
since
it'll
9/11,
spread
because
to other people
watching
in town
these
and
homeless people
and people's
pass
pets
away from this disease, and
It's a
I
lot.
was legitimately worried.
Yeah,
I was
me too.
legitimately going, fuck, man, this is gonna. And I
What
live right
happens
there,
if
so-
all these deadbeats die? Then I'll have to pay less property taxes. What a fucking tragedy!
Oh,
It's
man.
definitely like
No, they have the
9/11.
best immune systems. That's how that works.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm assuming, like, what did you witness over the time? Did it look like the field at Gettysburg after,
Wow.
terrifying
Yeah,
description?
I don't really like that sound.
This room's haunted or something.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, I just pulled her.
So, what did it look like from the time everything shut down until?
Yeah, I mean,
changed.
there's no change.
There was no change.
It
was
looks
the same exact place.
identical.
It looks, maybe even worse than.
But just worse in the sense that a bunch of people are homeless and sleeping in this area.
Well,
and,
in the
and-
fact that you see new faces every day. And
Right,
you see
right.
New
There's
people.
no.
I think it's a stop before people go to like Hollywood and Venice Beach. I think this Skid Row is where people stop to get their shit together
Well, let me
before they
tell
head
you-
down to the beach. I think it's where they
do.
stop
That's where
before
they
they get to
wanna go down to
Venice.
the beach.
They want
They're-
to go to the beach. And
They're
you
literal-
see-
I just hear
Let
the
me
They're
tell you
literal
about this
shit
fucking
together.
gang.
Yeah,
that I
well,
met.
you understand what I'm trying to.
I do because Rozafa used to live down on
Yeah,
Venice in
I keep
Venice.
seeing pictures
Yeah.
of like the place right there was like a little intersection. It was completely burned down.
Yeah.
Like a month ago, and I'm like, hey, that's where I used to live. They're like, yeah, it happened like a week ago. I was like, oh my God. I guess somebody had put
Yeah.
tents up there and like tank, whatever the fuck they put in there, meth labs.
Can
I
you
don't know.
believe I said that? That's where people go to get their shit together before they go to Venice. Can you believe I said that?
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to get money, and then they take a
believe
bus
it.
and
Yeah,
they go down
they
there
get
because
down
there's
there, whatever they
showers,
need.
there's water, there's
Yeah. A lot of
just
resources down there.
resources.
Tourists, even
It's
better.
like the
Yeah.
homeless Mecca.
Yeah.
They go
Yeah.
down there and then they wander around it multiple times. And they make
They,
their
realize-
they make
prayers.
machetes and
And then
they garnish weapons.
You
and
mean
stuff.
tent cutting devices, or
No, I mean like
No,
actual
you know,
machetes.
actual-
yeah,
okay.
like there's a lot.
you get those calls? You see those videos of people with machetes, down by the beach, and you're just like, what is it with machetes in fucking Santa Monica and Venice Beach?
Yeah, they're just like fucking throwing them up in the air.
Yeah, you don't know what they're. You don't know. Every time I see a new video come out of that area, it's just something about a machete. It's just like.
It just makes you laugh because there's no apartments in Venice. Basically, it's mostly $1 million homes. Like most of the
Fucking
homes
expensive
there,
down there.
even on the street we lived in like fourplex, and then there was another fourplex next to us, and that was it. And it was all homes, all
Yeah.
the way down the street. And these people have paid so much money to live there and like make a home
way
there,
too much money.
stuff like that. And then you just see all these fucking crazy nut jobs just taking over the neighborhood, just shitting everywhere, fucking making weapons. There's people selling meth out of a van, and I'm like, I can't park my car there
Because
I-
you're
we-
there.
Because you're there, and then if I did park my car there for more than 2 hours, they would put chalk on my tire. How are you guys getting away with this? And you have about 10 bikes on the back of your van hiding your license plate. So, I mean, they're in on it. They're all in on it. They're like, hey, just give them some slack, but they don't give slack to people who actually work and, pay their bills and all this shit. They'll deal with it in Venice.
I lived in San Clemente for a long time as a kid, and
San
that is
Clemente's
not
nice.
it is Republican. They will not put up with
No.
the Orange County Sheriff's Department. I don't know if you guys heard about the recent shooting with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. They shot and killed a black homeless man in San Clemente.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, and it was
what?
just
2 for 1.
he was jaywalking and he wouldn't get out of the street and
Jaywalking
tackled
while
him
black.
and they said he was going for the sheriff's gun and it's when you watch the video. I mean, I've seen LAPD work like every day.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that LAPD, wouldn't have handled that situation like that. It was so bad. I was
Maybe
just
do you
like,
think it's because they see more of that than...
Yeah. They're way
San
more
Clemente?
experienced. They're much better officers, but in Orange County, they don't see things like that. And those 2 officers they got on the street, they started doing this, and they put their hands on him, and then they tackled him to the ground on the sidewalk, and all of a sudden they're in a scuffle, and this and that. This guy's mentally ill.
Right.
They claim he's going after the officer's gun, and they shot him twice and killed him, and it was just like, why did you even put your hands on him? Like, I've never seen an LAPD officer do that.
I think
and
it's
when
just
they do,
experience,
and
too.
when they
They don't
do,
know it.
and when they do put their hands on a homeless person, it's usually they get it done like that. It's usually just
Because
one
they
and
don't want
done.
their homeless juices on them. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and it's just
You don't kill a guy because he's
yeah.
dirty.
Why
it
can't
was
you just kill a guy?
horrifically?
This is the
handled.
only time in human
Those
history where we can
sheriffs in
just
Orange
kill a
County,
guy.
those guys had no idea what they were doing. They shouldn't even have put their hands on him. They should have just talked to him and try to get him to calm down. And
That's sad.
Even
And
I
it
knew what to
happens
do.
a lot. It happens a lot.
Well, you've seen a lot more than most people interactions, and you've had
maybe a little bit.
interactions.
Oh yeah, I've had
even living in
interaction.
LA. I mean, I've lived in
Yeah,
LA so long, like I
every,
know how to handle it. That guy I was talking to, for instance, that was
Yeah.
going. I was like suggesting where he should go, even though he was yelling at me. He calmed down and he walked away from me. He's like, "You don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
Because I told him the truth. I was like, "That doesn't exist. Go to Venice. Get a bus. I don't have money for you.
Go to Venice, get a bus.
Get a bus ticket. I don't care if it doesn't stop in Palm Springs. I don't give a shit
Think about that though. Like that's
your
one of
flag
our
or treat that
first.
You want to continue there? That's fine. I don't give a shit. But
That's one of the first things we think of. Go to Venice. Go
Go
to
to Venice.
downtown LA. Go to Hollywood.
that's where it's at. Like,
This is the place to be if you're homeless and.
Meanwhile, he's
You
burning
know?
up in Arizona. It's like 115 degrees when we stopped at the air. I was like, this guy, he's just high as fuck, just sitting there. And he's pissed. I'm like, okay, he's hot. He's upset. Whatever. He's yelling at me. I'm not going to raise my voice to him. But I've experienced so many homeless people to where I'm like, now I know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
Mostly I try not to. I'm trying not to make any eye contact. But if I have to, I just know how to talk to them. It's just sad that police officers should know. Like, the LA County, obviously, they probably fucking know how to deal with this. But Orange County, no way,
No,
Jose.
yeah.
They don't have that shit. No,
They don't have
not
it
at
down.
all.
I think they're not as they're probably not as experienced as
They
the
don't want to
LAPD
deal
officers.
with it. Period. They don't want to deal with that shit. They just look at it like somebody without experience. Like we have more sympathy, empathy. I don't know what you want to call it because we're around these people, so you humanize it. If you just see
I
these
don't
people,
have
you've
any
never
empathy
seen
for
them
them.
ever. You don't like them.
I don't have any empathy.
You don't like them.
No, fuck them, dude.
You just
I have no empathy for them.
Empathy.
Whatever, they're losers. I had to fucking circle the block 20 fucking times because these fucking losers and their stupid fucking RVs are taking up 10 fucking spots on the street. To do what? To sleep and listen to Stone Temple Pilots? Fuck you. My taxes shouldn't have to pay for this shit. Listen, man, I gotta listen to Stone Temple Pilots too, alright? Why
TP,
isn't someone
shout out.
paying for me? Why are you paying for me to listen to Stone Temple Pilots all fucking day? Damn it!
Just listen to Stone Temple.
I don't see, dude. I don't fucking
I
feel.
thought you were gonna say Grateful Dead or something, man. I thought you were.
They're not that cool. Get the fuck
They're
out
all-
of here.
any-
These are all.
songs are too
Any
long.
homeless people who listens to the Grateful Dead is dead at this point.
Yeah.
I'm grateful Jerry Garcia's dead. 25 years gone. Fuck you, you fucking dirtbag loser. Piece of shit. They're losers, man. Fuck them. I hate them so much. I really can't even overstate how much I hate them. Because every time I leave my house, I get cut off in traffic by some fucking loser in a Lexus. And then when I go home, like, I mean, sometimes, do you ever do this? Okay, here's the thing. You ever wake up at like 6 in the morning sometimes just off I don't know why I did. I just did. And then you look outside. The homeless are already up and moving. They're digging through the fucking trash at 6 a.m. And I get incensed. So I think, like, why can't you have a lot of get up and go. Why can't you apply that to getting a fucking job and paying your fucking taxes? Yeah, you're up at 6 a.m. digging through the trash. You can't get a fucking job. It sucks. Well, it really bothers me.
It's hard because most jobs you can't smell like that and do meth when you're on the job. But as a homeless person, you can do those things. Yeah. The world is your oyster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, you're pretty much free to do whatever the hell you want.
And that's really what kind of the problem is. It's like there's just no... You're creating a sort of like a bizarre underclass where you're not going to enforce any laws.
That's a really, really good way to look
at it.
You're creating an underclass.
Yeah, and you're not going to enforce laws, so those areas will just be lawless, and it's really an abandonment of the fucking politicians, because they're just being like, oh, well, rather than actually deal with the problem, I'm just going to watch them, because I don't have to watch them.
That's a really good point, man. You're creating an underclass. And there basically is an underclass here in LA.
And then
they're the homeless.
Yeah, and
it's a total class of their own.
Really,
yep. That's a really good way to look at it. It's a new class of people here in Los Angeles.
Well,
they have a big enough population.
You know what I mean.
Came in and was like, why don't you go under the bridge and take the census there? Why are you at my building? Well, by law, we have to come in and I'm like, no, people are getting pissed. Talked to one person that was old, and I figured they wanted to talk to somebody. And then you knocked on everybody's door, and now I'm not answering your phone call. But I have to answer the phone calls because I don't know who the fuck is calling here. You know? I answered this fucking phone call, and this bitch, I let her in. The second time, I didn't let her in. She's like, well, by law. I was like, okay, yeah, suck my dick. Bye. Bye. Suck my dick. Bye. Suck my dick. Bye. Why do you need to take, like, I know this is so ignorant of me, but I hate the fact that I have to come and take a census and bother people because they don't fucking care. They were asking me about somebody that lived there. They're like, is he white or black? I was like, black. Is he white or black? I'm like, it's a black male. Just everybody in my building's black. So I gave her this whole census that was completely wrong. And I was like, and they have Trump flags everywhere. Like, I was making up some shit. I was so drunk when I was talking to this lady. I was like, I'll talk to you now.
This is why you can't trust polls or anything.
And she because put all the information on her phone. Do you want their numbers? Here you go. So it's going to be so much fun when they're like, excuse me? Like, what?
Yeah, to be clear to the listeners who are sober, we're talking about the census.
Yes.
We're talking about the fucking census.
Ask the homeless people. I told her, I was like, go down the street. Ask the homeless people who their neighbors are and who lives there. Why don't you ask these people? Because they take up a large population. If you just look on Hollywood Boulevard where I live, it's a fucking shit ton of tents right there. Under Gower. All these underneath... Okay.
REI has got to stop.
Did you guys
stop
see
manufacturing
people
outdoor
pushing
gear?
literal rocks and boulders underneath?
Yes, they did it by Fanatic Salon, dude, and that's what they should have fucking done.
You guys seen the boulders and stuff? I haven't
gone to check it out. Dude, it was right across the street from Fanatic. Yeah. The worst area of town for people living on the street and setting fires on.
I wish I would have saw that person roll that boulder down. That would.
It was a group of concerned citizens. I guarantee it. Is that my management team? Is that my fucking management team texting me to say I need to get off of this podcast?
They say shut up.
Yeah, they do say shut up. But I want to say about the census real quick.
Okay.
I was one of the census takers. You get, dude. This is no shit, dude. You get paid like $20 an hour to take the census. Really? So me and my girlfriend at the time, we lived in Chicago, but we only lived there for the summertime. So we got trained at $20 an hour to learn how to take the census, and then quit and moved to Indiana. But the point is, that's how ineffective the census is. They trained people, and we were the only smart people, by the way. Everyone else was a fucking retard. They were all dipshits. We were the only smart people, and we quit. Yeah. And we fucking quit like 2 days into it. But anyway, the census is pointless. They were sending me letters and calling me to tell me they were coming. And then the day he came, I didn't even fucking see him. And I'm home during the goddamn day. I should have fucking seen the census of all the people. I should have. Right? So if they can't count us, do you think they can take care of us? So when people are always shocked, they're like, Pizzagate's fake. Oh, really? You think that a government that can't even fucking count you can keep track of pedophiles in their fucking ranks? These retards can't count you. You hear what I'm saying here? I have to yell it.
I can tell.
It's fucking crazy.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you angry?
I mean, yes, sir.
Are you angry?
I'm sorry.
He's
Yes, sir.
angry.
Yes, sir. I'm fucking angry as shit, man. Because I live in this country and particularly in this state, and I see so much fucked up shit. You know, when you wake
We're
up
in
at
a
6
weird
in the
place,
morning,
man.
you shouldn't see people digging through your trash. It's not normal. The fuck, dude?
It's a.
I definitely
weird,
didn't grow up like that. My
Digging
dad
into
was
trash?
so cheap, he would take our trash from our house and take it to the restaurant so we didn't have to pay 2 trash bills.
That makes sense to me, dude.
Plymouth always smelled like caca.
Dads
But
are
it's
always
okay.
cheap.
I was like, Dad, don't invite anybody to the car. It smells like garbage in here because you always put the garbage. Hey, he was the early bird doing his job. He's like, hey, I got his phrases.
When did you guys start saying that the state is starting to get kind of weird?
Like
at
when
what
I moved
point?
here in 2011.
At what point were you like?
It was pretty
I moved
not.
to
No.
downtown LA too. I was like,
10
what the
years
fuck?
ago, it wasn't that bad. It was
No.
like
10 years
You
ago?
would
I feel
go
like
into
downtown LA followed me everywhere I moved.
Yeah, exactly. Exactamundo, dude. You went to every
true.
place that has the worst
I was
homeless
like, it's kind of
problems.
the
I can't even
same.
believe it, to be honest with you.
You're the
That's where I
one
moved
leading
first.
the horde.
Yeah.
No, there's something wrong with moving there because it's the place you would think
I'm
you would
just on
move
the
to.
edge.
Because
Living
it's,
on the
you know,
edge.
it's downtown. That's usually the happening part of
Homelessness.
town. But that's the first pocket of homelessness that I saw when I first moved here. And then by 2015, I saw him in Silver Lake. It's like, fuck, dude, this is the most expensive neighborhood I've ever lived in my entire fucking
These hipsters
life.
are taking it too far, man.
Yeah.
Too
This
far.
is bullshit. Yeah, I can't walk to the 7-Eleven and get chocolate milk at 4 in the morning without some dirt bag threatening to hit me with a fucking club or whatever.
But what if it was a club Long Island?
You wouldn't have to hit me, dude. You wouldn't have to hit me.
I didn't see that coming.
You guys, you scoff, but if you go to a liquor store, this is really popular among the homeless all of a sudden. They listen to the podcast, dude. I feel like we should make some money advertising for that particular brand
Well, they
of
have
malted
their
liquor.
Obama phones and they have their fucking California cards just loaded up. Move
You know,
here.
people don't think
Move
those
here, baby. They take care
people
of
don't
you.
think
That's
that
the problem.
those phones are real.
They
They
are.
hand out free fucking phones downtown.
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
They're
My
real.
friend who's
They're real.
homeless has
They ask
a
you,
new
do you have
phone
a,
every
do
week
you have
because they
an
lose
ID
them.
or that's it.
I just have people ask me all the time, like, can I use your phone? I'm like, hell no. They're like, fuck you, fucking bitch. And I'm just like running to my car. I'm like, yeah.
Would
'cause
you like
wanna
to use
steal
my
it.
scanner
That's
as
why.
well?
No,
What
you
the
can't
fuck?
Use my phone. I don't
I'm
want
so
your shit.
callous now. I'm really callous now.
Well, no,
Like
it's not
when
callous,
when they ask me something,
smart.
I'm like, I just look at them. I'm like,
What?
I'm like,
What do you
no.
want? Where are you coming from?
No, my answer's no. You know me. You see me
Yeah.
every day. The answer's no every day, no matter what. And it seems like, I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm a dick, but like, cause sometimes I kind of am a dick, and that's kind of fucked up considering, you know, the kind of types of photographs that I take. But you know, they're being dicks. You know, and they're gonna be a dick to me for no reason.
Your
and
pictures
sometimes-
are a reflection of them, and sometimes your personality would be. you know,
You know, art reflects the person.
Anyone would be if someone is continually like. I'm sure you've had many
That's kind of how you have to be,
interactions.
though. If you're down on 6th
Yeah.
and San Pedro every day, you kind of have to just be a callous person. Like, I developed a real callousness down there. Like, when somebody talks to me, I act like they look at me and I just look the other way and I walk right by them. I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want to speak to you. I don't want anything to do with you. Don't bother me. Don't come to me. You know, and I know that sounds messed up.
No,
but
you're not Mother Teresa.
You're-
This is
Yeah,
downtown.
you know, you're
Shit.
absolutely right. I'm not Mother Teresa.
Your dog.
And when
I
people
am Mother
ask me-
Teresa.
And when people ask me, like, do you take photos? I'm like, yeah, I make photographs.
Father Teresa.
Yeah, like, that's father.
Well, Mother
Yeah,
Teresa
I
was
mean,
in the
yeah.
sex trafficking trade, so she sucks.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, dude, they're all bad.
She was
people.
Albanian. I was like, motherfucker, dude. Why?
You cannot trust Albanians. I heard.
Why?
Yeah,
No,
dude.
you.
Are you Albanian?
You bite your tongue. You bite your tongue right now.
I won't do any
Albanian?
such thing.
She, yeah, she was. But then I read somebody who was like, yeah, she was evil. She did this, and I was like, oh fuck. that's
Yeah,
probably
she
true.
exploited all those poor people.
Damn it, Teresa.
Yeah, she
But
was,
she was
she
hired by
kinda
the
fucked up.
Catholic Church. Hello, Catholic Church, motherfuckers, is evil as fuck. I'm the different kind of Albanian. We're Muslim. We're better people.
Oh.
We just blow people up.
Catholic.
We don't
Oh,
agree with them.
oh,
There's
okay. I guess
Catholic
that's
and
better. Just put people
Albanians.
out of their miseries
Catholics
ahead of
just
time.
fuck children and traffic children, and Muslims don't believe in that.
That's a
That's
lie.
why the Muslim church is way it's not as nice, and then you look at the Catholic Church, it's super nice. Why is that? Why do they wear rags?
Because we got style.
They got money.
That's not true. There's tons of mosques that look fucking unbelievable.
Well, not in our country.
But the mosques, like,
and
they don't have big houses.
Islam conquered half the fucking world, just like
But my point
Roman
is,
Catholics did.
They don't wear like snakeskin boots and shit. Like they don't flaunt their fucking money. Like they don't have it. It all goes back to the people. It goes back to poor people. Like 20% of what you make is supposed to go back to poor. That's how it is in the Quran.
We live in a weird world. Really weird world. I don't even know what to say anymore. You know, like this is the most strange. I don't even know where this is coming from. But this is a strange, odd world we're going through right now, and the conversations we're having are just so off base and so not the ones we should be having. Times, you know, like
let's talk about the pictures.
Yeah, people get tagged in these pictures. Like politicians for the districts get tagged in your pictures all the time by people who are in
not
comments,
by you,
not by
when they repost them.
Oh, really? Do you guys see people repost them?
All the time.
Well, in the comments, or something, it'll say something, or like street people in LA will repost some shit.
I try not to look at the comments because it upsets me.
I just turn them off.
It's so unbelievable to think that the people who are close to those politicians who are looking at this shit, like this is the first
homicide in Los Angeles of 2020.
Okay, so this was at the beginning of the year.
Well, there was a homicide in Compton, but that's LA County. It's a separate city. But
okay.
Before this, but this is the first.
Compton's a different one.
It's not a part of Los Angeles. This is part of the county, but it's a different.
Why is it different?
City.
Why is
it's an unincorporated.
It's unincorporated. Well, yeah, they have their own city government. It's a part of LA County, but it's.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because they don't want that crime rate. They don't want any of that shit. They don't want to deal with it. That's why.
Compton was doing actually like a lot better.
Yeah, I have a buddy that lives over there, and he says it's not that bad. It's not. I mean, there's still crime, but it's not like it was.
Could it be because
in the
of the
90s.
opportunity zones? Seriously.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know.
They incorporated that a few years ago, so maybe.
A lot of people, invested in it. There's all kinds of new people moving in.
It's called opportunity zones. Yeah. Trump and what's his homeboy's name?
Ben Carson.
Yeah.
Carson came up with
it. But that's the first guy that got killed in Los Angeles City.
Yeah, check it out in the left-hand corner here. The fries with the ketchup on it.
Yeah.
And these nice little red chair seats.
Those are like red bottom shoes.
Well, it's telling you, check it out. Here's death.
Yeah, it's a weird. I just can't believe I didn't even know he was behind me until the cops pulled up. So it kind of goes to show, like, you have no idea what you're dealing with until you look behind you.
And he was he stabbed or shot?
He was stabbed.
He was stabbed.
Yeah.
Over a sub sandwich or what?
No, over a small argument. He was arguing with somebody. He took 2 steps towards them, and he got stabbed like 3 times, like 2 or 3 times.
That's all it took.
That's all it took. That's why I don't argue with anyone anymore.
Yeah.
When I'm out, I don't talk. I don't, because that can legitimately happen to you over nothing, and that's why I don't engage in anything like that. I might argue with somebody, but I'm not gonna get into it, because your life can be taken very fast from you over nothing. So
what if you just put like a cupcake in your pocket and just like somebody starts yelling, and you're like, here you go.
I mean, that's one way to deter confrontation, but right there.
See, can we talk about something about crime real quick? Do you ever feel like people court crime? Because a lot of times you hear these stories, like I'm in these crime prevention groups on Facebook and stuff. And a lot of the crimes are people leaving their fucking door open and leaving their fucking gate open.
I close it for them.
And it's like, you're inviting crime, you stupid fucks. What are you doing? Because I see it in my own building, and it's
an opportunity.
Dude, there's my next door neighbor is storing lumber. It is gated. He doesn't lock the gate. It's like, if I was a criminal, I'd steal some fucking lumber, dude. That shit's expensive.
Speaking of crime, go 2 down. So not the next one, but the next one. No, that's Kobe Bryant. There you go. Let's talk about crime with that one.
What's going on here?
What do you think is going on? What do you think's going on?
Taking drugs.
What do you think?
Yeah, drugs on them.
I think.
I
don't know. Was this maybe
fisting
call for
other?
shoplifting or something?
I don't know.
I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, you don't know. He's just searching.
It just happened in front of me. It just happened. I ran across the street and made a photograph.
Oh, I wanted to ask. Do you have like a
I know
nice
what it
lens
was.
that you can get far away? But still
No, I don't do that.
See, okay, I have a lot of questions from a technical standpoint, if that's okay. It's just kind of nerdy. But
Okay.
whatever.
Look, you
People
either
are probably into
shoot
photography.
18 millimeter or you go home. In my opinion,
So you
18
get-
millimeter
you
or
get
go
close.
home.
You
Yeah.
get right in there.
Go
dude.
home.
Okay.
Like
That
when I
helps
see
you capture it.
was that.
That helps you capture it. Because
Yeah, that
you're
helps it
in
make
the-
it look wide and and big and like look larger than life.
Like
you know?
a movie.
And obviously, I think I figured it out. He was smoking. See, he's probably smoking inside. So
Little sign right there.
obviously, you.
And no one's wearing a mask. When was this?
This was
Mask,
just
please.
about when we just first started hearing about COVID in February. Like
Okay.
when people started talking about
Oh,
it.
I forgot
okay.
to take your guys' temperature.
Oh,
People, no, wait. I think this is.
Yeah.
I think this is March.
Oh, we'll
Then
do it
who was it?
This
Who
is
gave me
early
that
March.
anal thermometer?
No, this is.
that was Tay.
No, this
Okay.
is late February, early March. So
Okay.
people were starting to
this
wear masks on their own,
But no.
but the
one-
cops
the
weren't
Asians
required
like you
to
said.
wear masks. Cops weren't required
Yeah.
to wear them. This is like not an uncommon scene in Skid Row. This is any kind of high risk suspect, drug dealers or anybody that's might have a weapon on them. They have their firearms out, ready to go.
Yeah.
They're ready to fucking.
They're
They're ready
to
for
rock.
business. Like they're not messing
He's
around.
got a gun like RoboCop too, man. Does the LAPD
And
just
he's
have a
got
bunch
good
of...
trigger control too. His finger's not on the
Yeah.
trigger.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
he's
it's interesting.
They mean business, man. They don't mess around in these types of neighborhoods like Watts and South Central. They'll draw them like immediately on a traffic stop, maybe. Like if they look like gang members or
Have
something.
you
I wonder
seen-
why. I wonder why.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like crime
it
happens
is.
there, man.
It's an unfortunate
You're not
reality
gonna do that,
that.
to like an old person like in Orange County. 'Cause, there's no crime there.
There's no need to.
That's what people they don't take it case by case. That's what drives me fucking crazy. Is that people are like, it's race. I'm like, no,
It's a history. It's
there's
a history of crime
fucking
and
crime, and there's gang violence here. Like, dude, they have to be ready for it. They got to be ready. You can't be a fucking dummy out there naked.
Yeah,
go
you
out
can't
there
do that.
You have to protect yourself, and you have to take extra precautions. They're probably actually better police. The ones that work in the hood are probably way better than
Way
the ones
better.
that work like
Oh, yeah.
lollygagging around, like the one you said that fucking killed that homeless guy.
Yeah, it was
they
like
wouldn't-
it was
they
true.
handled
so
it wrong.
poorly handled.
That's
Yeah,
what's
that's what I'm
so.
saying. It's like I feel like our guys in the bigger cities are more
They should go to Orange
have
County
more
and train them.
just because they have more experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
period.
New York and LA,
And Chicago
actually
PD,
have, they
Atlanta,
have way better records than people give them credit for because they're thinking about them as though they were the way they were in the 90s.
Yeah.
When all the fucking
when
movies came out.
okay, in the
you
90s when LAPD and the sheriff's department were hardcore, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
where they would plant shit on you and they would
100%.
they were absolutely, their own gang in a sense because when you hear stories from like or ex-gang members from where I live, they're like, yeah, LAPD and the sheriff's department they did not mess around.
No, yeah.
They
yeah,
would
yeah.
gun your ass down.
Yeah.
And they would,
Well, even when we watched that.
plant shit on you, and that shit was true in the
There's
80s and
also
90s.
corrupt,
Oh, yeah.
It's still like they still have like gang initiations and shit within the LAPD, NYPD, all these.
Yeah.
This situation is different from this situation. Like it's guys.
Yeah.
come
I
on.
remember a story where this guy was framed for a double homicide. He killed his. They said he killed his wife and a waiter, and it all turned out not to be true. Maybe you heard this O.J. Simpson guy. You hear this? Total lie. The guy was innocent.
Dude.
The
The
whole
juice
time.
was being squeezed.
Here, go to the next one. Go to the next one. Let's see.
We missed a couple there.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can skip those. So this is a crime in downtown Los
Is it a
Angeles.
crime scene? What's the blue bag?
That's a beautiful dress. This is a quinceañera.
He's right. It's a dress shop on 6th and Broadway, and
Okay.
Is that why he had the
I almost don't want to
scissors
give an
out?
explanation as to what's going on because it makes you kind of wonder what's happening. I know a lot
What
of
is
people.
going on though? I don't know.
Okay, so this is what happened. So
was
the
watching
young
Maury.
black male on the bottom, he stole an expensive chain from the guy that's on top of him on 7th and Broadway.
Uh-huh.
And he basically ran out with the chain. It's like a $2,000-$3,000 chain. And they went running after him. And they ran maybe for like a quarter of a mile. The man on the bottom, he ran into the dress shop and started hiding underneath the dresses because there was like 3 people chasing him. And soon after, even I was on the run because I wanted to see if I could get a photograph out of it. And so there were 2 guys that were walking by, and he said, "Oh, are you guys looking for this guy?" And they told one of the jewelry shop owners, the guy on top, "Yeah, there's somebody in here. You would think it's who you're looking for." So he goes crawling under the dresses and everything, and they get into a fist fight underneath all the dresses. And that's, the guy gets on top of him. He gets hit in the face and stuff, and then he pulls out the scissors, and he says, "I'm going to stab you if you touch me again." And then he finally gets on the ground. And the reason he looks dead is because he's out of breath. Because they were running for so long and they were fighting on the bottom, and so he hands off the. He's pointing at him, and the guy pointing at him said, "Take a picture of him, so we know who he is and we can arrest him." And so I took a picture, and eventually, it took a little bit, maybe like 10 minutes before the cops came, but they let him go because they didn't want him to come back to the jewelry store shop and maybe come back armed or something. So they shook hands. They said, "We got you. Don't come back to our shop." And the guy said, "All right.
Whoa.
You're good."
They
let him go because they didn't want him to come back with his friends,
Yeah, that's the scary part. Like, you don't think about it. It's like you call the cops and you're like...
Well, they have to because they've been on that corner for
what's gonna happen?
30 years. That family has been on that corner for 30 years, so they have to consider the repercussions if they snitch or, So they let him go, and he's never been back since.
Wild.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever tried to steal your camera? Where do you put it when you're taking
Only in the
pictures?
riots. Someone's ever tried to steal my camera.
Really?
Yeah.
These fuckers.
They tried to steal everything.
It was a white kid, and I was just like,
"Yep,
dude, I'll kill you right now."
Dude, I like that. I will. Like, don't do it. Like, if you want to tussle, then we can tussle, but like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I will kill you. Like, I will not let you take this camera.
Yeah, I'd rather smash
Especially
it
with
on the
all
ground.
the stuff that was on it, all the photographs that were on it from the night, and I was just like, and then he backed off, and I was like, "Don't! You're smaller than me. Just don't do it, dude. I'm just gonna crush you."
What, did he have beer spray on him, or what did he have?
No, nothing. They just said no photographs. They tried to take camera, and I said, "No, man. This is not."
It's so funny
this
how
is not the way to do it.
You notice that BLM always says no photographs.
Go to the next one. I think the next
wonder
one
why
is,
that is. Why is that though? Isn't that strange?
That was late March, I believe. Yeah, should be late March, and someone died on the sidewalk. That's actually outside of my place right there. So I woke up, I looked outside, I saw a tent, and so I got on my clothes as fast as I could. I walked outside, and I stood by the tape, and the cops were asking me, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I'm going to make a photograph." And they kind of looked at me funny, and they just went back to talking, and it was whatever.
Does that happen a lot? There's just people just dying on the street?
Oh, yeah.
Constantly?
Not constantly, but, I see it.
Not enough.
The lot is full.
Yeah, that was just a coincidence. That's one
Full
of the few
of dead homeless people.
That's one of the few photographs I had to zoom in on a little bit because I wasn't standing in the right position.
It really is crazy because I thought when this thing came out, because nobody really knew what it was, I thought, I'm like, man, the homeless population is going to be decimated.
That's my building. Yeah, that's where I live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I live right there. So I just woke up, I looked out, I saw on Citizen something about shots fired, and I thought it was a homicide. But I figured if it was a homicide, they would have blocked off the whole corner. The whole block. And
so what did he just killed himself?
It was arachnocide. He stepped on a spider and it bit him.
His Spider-Man
He
killed
just
him?
died of old age. He just died in his sleep.
People,
Died
that
of
happens,
COVID, baby.
Their body just gives up on them, and maybe it was an overdose, maybe it was natural causes, but that happens, People, one of the weird things about when I first started photographing is I was like, when am I going to run into somebody that's dead? And then it happened, and I said, so this is how homeless people die. They don't die in a hospital with their family. They don't die next to loved ones. They just die on the sidewalk alone, whether it's a stroke or, if they're elderly or drugs or something. And it kind of hit me like they just die on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
It's not, they
It's
don't
sad.
die in a hospital. Like, this is what these advocates for homelessness think.
Even
when
the
they die, they die.
not a great place to die, but it's better than the fucking sidewalk.
Yeah, but this is what some of these... I almost want to ask some of these homeless advocates that advocate for people staying on the sidewalk or think it's humane. I almost want to ask them, where do you think they die? Where do you think... How do you think they die? They die in misery on the sidewalk.
And what's their, the life expectancy?
It's 55, 60. It's super low. It's on Skid Row, it's 52 to 60, I believe.
What do you think we could do to get that down to 30? Just
COVID didn't help.
I swear, you guys, I'm not this cruel and callous in real life.
We need a real pandemic.
We're having an open conversation.
Yeah,
dialogue.
we're baiting you. It's
Yeah, but that's just how they. It's. I don't know. I don't know what to say. That's just how they die. They die on the sidewalk. Exactly where you find. Exactly where they die. Exactly. What's the next one?
Yeah, let's see.
I don't know what the next one. Oh yeah.
Hendrix.
When was this?
That's the first night.
What is that?
May 29th.
Is that their spray?
May 29th?
No, that's
their
Lord and
batons.
Savior died 2 days later, or 2 days before, or whatever.
This is May 29th, and this is on 5th and Spring. Just in that general area, just on Long Spring, and this is them marching forward, telling people to get back and stuff.
Whoa,
and,
the lights are cool on that. What is that from?
It's elongated exposure, it's just how they ended. How a lot of the photos ended up, which I'm glad they did.
That looks
because
cool.
it looks
like
a lot.
Ghostbusters.
It looks a lot better, and it kind of looks more natural.
Yeah.
But
It definitely looked like they had the physique of Dan Aykroyd.
yeah, it's a.
Don't you love knowing these fat fucks are protecting you from the fucking hordes?
Yeah,
Fuck.
This was.
They make me look
sure,
like a
fat.
fucking
I'm sure-
athlete.
I'm sure you all heard when the actual Starbucks on 6th Spring was getting, because that was like a big.
Christ lives.
That's actually a big. That was like on the news. They said Starbucks got looted. There were like police cars that got
What'd they
trashed
take?
on 7th and Figueroa.
All the
But they
sugar-free
just
vanilla
broke the
lattes?
windows. They messed everything up. Just wreck it.
They could take coffee and stay awake longer to destroy dumb shit.
Yeah.
And just take
but-
huge dumps all up and down downtown LA.
You just,
Dan.
you
Yeah,
just
I
see
mean,
them-
They're going down and
But this is
down.
when they're doing like an actual they're pushing on people and they're shooting. They were shooting people just all with those green guns, just foam batons.
Dude,
and
if I was a cop, I would be fucking people up.
And
no
they
questions
hurt
asked.
because I got hit.
I'd be
Oh,
like,
I
why are
bet
you out
they
here,
hurt.
dumb fuck?
They
Boom.
they didn't care who you were, how old you were,
Yeah.
what you looked like, what you were doing. If you were in the way and you were just making photos and stuff, you got hit. And I got hit with one, and it fucking hurt.
Really?
Yeah.
What do those
on
green
my leg
things
right
shoot
here.
out?
That's a permanent. It's a permanent scar.
What they hit you with?
It's a foam baton. It's like foam at the end, and it broke the skin right here. My whole leg swelled up from my knee all the way to my ankle. And so, but I kept going the rest of the night, and the next day, and the next day after that. And then I kind of was like, okay, I don't feel like getting hit by anymore. I don't want to get hit again.
Yeah.
But it was pretty. That was a pretty high adrenaline rush for the first time. What's the next? Go to the next one. It's a looter.
Haha, he's stealing
That
Camel.
was just when they broke
He's
down
He's
the
stealing
window.
Camel cigarettes.
Yeah.
That was just when they broke down.
He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, he knows exactly what
That's
to
a great
take.
shot.
Camels and cools. Yeah, this is beautiful. It's a beautiful shot, I think. And I love that.
I love the other shit too.
Yeah, check out these.
But this
bottles
guy doesn't
over
look
here.
homeless to
They're
me.
in total,
Dude, that is just such a lucky framed. I mean, it was
But
all.
also, this
it-
guy is not homeless. Look at his jacket. Look
No,
at
he
his
is.
pants.
Oh, he's
Yes, I've
homeless.
seen him
I've
before.
noticed
Are you
a
sure?
lack of
Yeah, I've
teeth.
seen him
Nice
around
teeth.
before.
Or
No, he does not have nice
okay,
teeth.
I've seen him around
I need to put
before.
my glasses
Now,
on.
Yeah.
not to judge, but I mean there are like packs of Charmin over here that he could also be getting. And I would feel as a homeless person, I would want
Toilet paper.
toilet paper.
Yeah.
Especially
That's
during this
for
crisis.
the fucking
Yeah.
retards that are buying
But no,
toilet
he's
paper.
got cigarettes, man. He's
But,
going for cigarettes.
But yeah, I mean that all that happened so fast. It was done with flash. I had to use the flash on my camera, and it was just such a lucky. It just came out perfectly illuminated and everything, and you could tell like the movement in the photograph and stuff. So
Yeah.
I got pretty lucky
Yeah,
with that one.
it's real
I had to
live.
walk into the store after they broke down the window, and it's just to see if I could get him taking whatever he was gonna take, and then
Did you take anything?
no, I didn't.
Come on.
I didn't.
Some
I didn't, man. I have
some. Come on, Kleenex, because I don't want to pay for Kleenex. Get the fuck out of here. I'm
A
just blowing my
Snickers.
nose
I mean,
in
they
it.
do satisfy.
Yeah.
A Snickers.
I didn't take anything.
Well, anyways, let's talk about these pictures so I can leave.
Thank God.
Talk about these pictures. So this right now we're looking at a picture of a cop pulling his gun, dude.
That was during a shootout, right, just maybe 20 feet away.
Did they get him?
Yeah, they got him.
They shoot him?
That was fucking no.
Is that suicide when people do that? Shoot at the cops? That's just suicide by cops.
It was fucking bananas. I was like standing in the street, maybe like 20 feet away from the cops who they were shooting at.
Whoa.
The guy fired on them, and then they fired back. And I was standing in the street, and I was like, that doesn't sound like a foam baton or a rubber bullet.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a real fucking, real bullets flying in. So I was like, well, I better head for cover. And so I headed for cover behind a light pole.
And when what?
A little skinny ass light pole. I was hiding behind it, and I was trying to make photographs. And
That's insane.
behind a little light pole, I was like, well, hopefully I don't get hit. If they're firing, I don't know where they're firing. I didn't know where they were firing at when I first heard it go off. So I ran straight for cover to the nearest thing I could find.
This was a normal
Terrible place
night?
for cover.
Yeah,
It was the worst place.
What are you, Tom Arnold in fucking True Lies? This was just.
This was slightly after. I made photographs during the actual, during the shootout, but those didn't come out quite as clear as I.
Can I ask you a dumb technical question? Are you just using manual focus, or are you focusing it yourself?
I have my flash on. It's just flash and whatever. It goes manually too.
Cool. I'm surprised at the quality of your pictures with not using.
It's not going to show you the shit ones.
I have to say, yeah, the ones that
Well, that's another good question.
look
That's
like
another good
shit.
question.
They do.
How many pictures do you take? 500 pictures a day when
No.
you go out there?
No, like fucking maybe even 3.
No fooling.
10. Yeah.
In a day?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Really?
Sometimes none.
Huh.
I didn't say it's
Really?
digital. It's not. It's not film. It's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
So why not just take 200 pictures just in case?
I don't feel like I have to. I don't feel like I need
So
to.
many photographers I know
Well,
are
It's
like
too
that.
much though. Then you get confused going through all this shit. Like it's a lot.
Well, that
Yeah.
that helps. That really does make sense because then you narrow your choices down to.
Yeah, and I don't feel like I need to be clicking it 1,000 times a day. Like, there's no point in doing that.
Mhm.
I know what I see when I see it, and I go, "Is that gonna work? Maybe it will, maybe it won't." And then I just click, and then hopefully it does work somehow. I'll click it like some photo. I'll click it one time a day. I'll click it, and then that'll be the photo.
Oh, and you just go in.
I'll
You know
I'll
you
go
got it.
home after 5 hours, and then I'll edit it and then put it out. I don't make that many photographs now. Before I would make a lot, but not now.
Mhm.
What kind of editing do you do on it?
Just
Just cropping it?
just
or?
click no,
Yeah.
little bit maybe.
I mean,
Rotate
the fitting
it
on
a little
Instagram
bit.
sometimes.
Yeah,
it
no,
must
just
be like,
sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't. I just keep it exactly how I cook it.
oh, cool.
If it comes out that way, but I might crop it a little bit. I might rotate it, enlarge everything inside of the actual size of the photograph. That's exactly as I took it. Brightened it up maybe a little bit and clarified it for a second, for a little bit. That's the exact frame if you look on the camera. All right, what about the next one? That is inside of Walgreens as it's being looted on 5th and Broadway.
No one wants the Pedialyte, which is surprising.
Yeah,
'cause
it's fucking
I would
expensive.
jump for
Keeps
that
you hydrated,
first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Give you some ice cold.
Also,
tea bag
tons of
rocks.
Nicorette.
What was on these shelves? Is this like.
I think it was just
Makeup
I
or
think some of
something?
them were cigarettes maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 'cause that's behind the counter.
Nicotine, all that kind
Behind
of
the
stuff that's
counter.
expensive to buy.
Yeah.
They were just loading up bags of. I know. I can't believe nobody took the Enfamil either. That's expensive. Those are like some of those things are like $20-$30 a little. For.
What is this up here in the left corner? Is that Nicorette or something?
Yeah, Nicorette.
Yeah.
Dude.
That'd be really funny. Somebody's like, I'm trying to quit smoking, but I'm trying to start stealing.
Yeah.
Grab that Nicorette.
Yeah, and cops were basically around this entire perimeter as I went in. They were down on Spring Street.
And they just let him
And
go
I was
and
just
go.
like, you know what, dude, I don't you live once. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going inside.
Yeah.
I went inside like 3 or 4 times for a
I'm with
minute,
the press. I'm
for
with the
like
press.
30 seconds at a time, and I just went inside and started making photographs, and that was one of them that I took. And I said, if I get arrested, I get arrested, and it's going to be a shitty situation, but
Now this looks like a
I'm going to have
Jewish
criminal
woman.
history, but.
What's
that?
Does this
She's
look
looking
like
for
a
the
Jewish
jewels.
woman?
Where's
I
she
don't know.
at?
That backpack looks pretty Jewish.
That's true.
It looks like the nanny. It looks like the nanny rolled in there.
What's the next one? Let's see.
I like this one, dude. Skate or die, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really understands what a riot is until they've actually been in one. And I want to be very honest about what it is. It is very fucking chaotic, and you don't understand the kind of chaos that happens unless you've been in it.
It's just mayhem.
It's just fucking dude. It was like fucking.
Basically, anyone can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, anyone could do whatever they want without repercussions.
Right.
And people were doing that. It's really easy to sit from your home and have an opinion about what was going on when this was happening on the 29th, the 30th, and the June 1st. It's really easy to sit at home and have an opinion about all this unless you were there. People have no idea. It's fucking bananas. It's just so outrageous to see all this. It was so fucking crazy to see this happen. And then shortly after I took this, there was like 10, 15 guys that showed up with like baseball bats and golf clubs. And it looked like a scene out of The Purge. They just made their way down. They made their way down fucking Broadway to 6th and 7th, and they just went to town on everything that they could, burning shit down.
Did you see a lot of people getting into conflicts with each other?
Yeah, I saw 3 gang members jump a guy, and the cops were right there in front of them and arrested him. 2 days later, they arrested a bunch of people marching down fucking 5th and Los Angeles Street. 300-400 people that weren't doing anything wrong. And that's something that's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I fucking saw it. I saw them arrest. They weren't even going after criminals. They weren't going after criminals.
Yeah.
They were not going after criminals.
I'm okay if they shut down those
They caught some people
but
like
shutting
this.
down these ones too.
Yeah, they caught some people like this. You know, when you arrest 300 or 400 people walking down the street protesting, not doing anything wrong, and you got these guys down here on 5th and Broadway fucking causing a goddamn...
What kind of stores is
That's Walgreens. That's the same
okay.
store. And you got them
on 7th Street.
No, it's 5th. And causing goddamn mayhem, and it was fucking bullshit, man. It was so out of control. Like, it was just too high risk to go after those guys. I guess they determined it was too high risk, and they decided to wait.
And that is
Weren't
a
they
skateboard?
also told to like lay back too or something?
Until I think maybe. I mean, because there was a point when there wasn't no cops around. They were just letting people do whatever they wanted.
Well, it also risked the cops. Like,
and not only that, but then they imposed the curfew.
You guys have insurance on the store, right?
They imposed the curfew on the 30th, and then on the 1st, they just started arresting protesters, people that were out there marching and stuff. It turned to 6:05 after the curfew happened. They started arresting people. They were pointing weapons at us. We would walk outside and we would be watching. You know, like I live right there, so I'd walk outside with my camera.
Outside checking out.
Checking out what's going on. And they just start pointing weapons at you. It was such fucking bullshit. They basically waited for all the looters to go, and then they started going after these protesters. It was fucking bullshit.
And how much cooler would it have been if that dude had done like a kickflip through that window?
That would have been pretty cool. I would have got a photograph.
Way like right through it. Just like bam. That'd be award winning, you know.
I'm surprised they just roll up when this all was happening and fucking arrest everyone, including me.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't happen. They waited until the 1st to start arresting mass amounts of people that were marching down the street doing nothing, but expressing their opinion. Yeah. Kill your own citizens. I mean, for breaking into a store, and I don't know, man. It was totally fucked up.
What if the store owner was there and it wasn't a corporate place?
I saw that happen.
If they had a gun.
I saw that happen.
I wouldn't be mad if they blasted away. People would be like, hey, man, I have a gun. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like,
I saw it happen on 5th
you.
and Spring. There was a place called Buzz Liquor.
Yeah.
And they just sell, alcohol there. And they busted in the doors and they started going in and stealing all the champagne and the beer and everything. And then the owner lives in the building, and he came down with a baseball bat and a couple of his buddies with baseball bats, and they stood in the front door and nobody kept going inside.
Well, that's how you stop it.
Yeah, and that's how it stopped, because they might have fucking cracked somebody's head open, and then they crack somebody's head open, and then they get jumped and murdered.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like this game of how far are you willing to go? How far are you willing?
Well, you have to protect your shit.
Shortly after the 5th and Broadway on Walgreens, they moved all the way down towards between 6th and 7th on Broadway, and they ripped up this jewelry store. I know that I talked to the guy that owns this, and he was pretty upset the next day. He wasn't crying or anything, but you could tell he was just like, Jesus fuck.
They took everything out of the jewelry store?
Just my fucking luck,
Yeah.
And he's not even from fucking America. He's from.
How did they get?
I believe he's from like Iran. He's Jewish. from the Middle East.
Persian Jew.
Yeah, like
that's that whole
What in that industry?
yeah.
that whole
Out of
Jew
here.
industry.
I don't believe it.
It's all Persian Jews.
Uncut gems, dude.
How do they even break in through this shit?
They
though?
ripped it from the bottom and they just went
With,
inside
like
with
crowbars
fucking
or
crowbars
something?
and
Yeah.
mass amounts of people. I mean,
You
when you
get
have
enough
15, 20,
people
when you have 10
pulling.
people ripping the bottom of that, it comes off.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's not strong enough. I thought they were going to ram a car into it
Well,
at that point. But
are people allowed to protect their businesses here in Los Angeles? Like,
I wouldn't stand there and protect my business. You shoot somebody, they're all going to jump you and fucking murder you.
No,
It's
I would
that
just
simple.
shoot everybody. I would just start shooting at the ceiling and be like, if you guys don't fucking dance and get the fuck out of here, I'm going to blow all of you away. I don't give a fuck. Literally, I would not give a fuck. I would just start shooting at innocent
I wouldn't have
people.
because
They're not innocent. They're just, they're trying to steal shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how poor
They're
you
not
are.
that innocent.
They're not.
What
Don't
is
feel bad about it.
this that's on fire?
It's a trash can and they're running out of that shoe store with all of that. I was going to go inside of the shoe store there, but the cops were too close and I was like, fuck.
No,
if I go
this
inside.
is why you need guns. Every store owner needs a gun, and they need to start blasting people away. You want to steal my shit? I'll fucking blast you away.
Yeah.
Come try me. Everybody should know there's consequences. You can't just go in and steal stuff and be like, the cops are just... If we all get together and be fucking assholes and we can steal people's livelihoods. No, bitch, that's not how life works. You steal, you take from somebody else, they have the right to take from you. And that costs your life sometimes. I'm sorry, but this shit doesn't go down in other neighborhoods. This is dumb shit. That does not go down.
For that
Next
guy.
slide.
And this is the following day when National Guard came through. And,
Too late, buddies. Should have been there the first day.
I just it was
Weekend
like out of
Warriors.
a sci-fi.
Weekend
It was
Warriors.
like it was out of a sci-fi movie, dude. It was just like, dude, you got the fucking army and National Guard in here, and you're just sitting there going. They're walking up and down the street, and
I love
they're
that
posted up.
you got just
They're
a little
protecting
bit
businesses.
of fuck 12 over there on the side.
And you're just like, this feels like it's out of like I Am Legend or something, you know?
When I first saw Fuck 12, I was like, what is that, a pedophile thing? Like, I didn't get it. And then I was like, oh, it's a police thing. I get it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
not sure what 12 stands for, but I guess they just
It means the cops.
Yeah, I know it means the
For
cops, but I guess
profile?
it just.
It's kind of like how 311 is 3 Ks because it's the 11th letter. So actually, 311 are not down with blacks. Just so you know.
This morning, that there was no hardcore. Well, later that day, Santa Monica got looted, and I would think that was like the end of the official riot. I think that was when Santa Monica got looted. They tried to go to Van Nuys and do it, and then everything stopped. All that looting and the theft, all the crime ended up getting bunkered down because the fucking National Guard showed up, and they have the authority to shoot your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
They have the authority.
Good.
to
Shoot
do
them.
this.
Shoot
And they were
everybody.
really nice. They were really kind, and you could tell nobody wanted to mess with them. And actually, probably better cops than
I wouldn't mind
Cops.
being a weekend warrior. Just be like in the National Guard and just start hitting people with my pistol. Just for talking shit. They're like, bend your knee. Put your fists up for Bill. I'm like, what? What'd you say? What'd you tell me to do? I will fucking kill you.
anyone that wants to defund the police is a lunatic.
They have
and
no idea what the
they're
fuck they're talking about.
I will be the first one to admit that the police were fucking completely out of hand during all of this, and their force was completely. It was just way too much. Like, you don't just get to arrest people for standing on a fucking sidewalk. You know? Basically, the last official night of rioting in Los Angeles. It wasn't really rioting. It was just a bunch of people.
Is he working to
running
make America great again?
It was basically
Yeah.
just a bunch of people
It's a
running
red
from
hat,
the
like,
cops.
this is
Go
serious.
MAGA.
And this night
That's
was
Fred
the first
Durst,
night
actually.
where this is the first night I could
He's the
officially say
originator.
that these people, some of them are from LA, other neighborhoods, but
Yeah.
a lot of them, like I said, that whole night I just ran from the cops. I literally just booked it.
They're
I was
crazy.
like, hell no, I ain't getting arrested.
It was all riots and shit.
And
Yeah.
I was hiding from the police because I was fucking more afraid of them than I was these guys and the rioters.
Yeah.
Like I talked to a
What
police
were the
officer.
police doing? Were they like setting off?
They were shooting the, foam
Bullets?
batons and stuff, or bullets and stuff, trying to basically scatter the crowd. But the one thing I'm going to say from all this is I was way more afraid of the police than I was of people with fucking baseball bats running around. I was way more afraid of the police.
Yeah, but you also aren't a store.
Yeah, I was just going to say
they're not
that.
trying to attack you as a target, but the
Well, some
police
people were
have to
attacked.
push
Some
you back.
people were absolutely attacked. I saw it. And some people were absolutely beaten up during these things, you know. But at the end of the day, even as a photographer, I felt more safe with these guys than I did against law enforcement because they did not give a shit, bro. They didn't care what you were doing. They didn't care if you were just sitting on the ground. They were going to get your ass. They were going to get your ass. They were,
if you're out at that time, you're out for trouble. Because why else would you be outside while everybody's writing? They have a curfew. Why in the fuck are you out?
I saw
it's 6 o'clock. Why are you out with Antifa gear on? Bro? Light these motherfuckers up.
I saw a guy out there from the neighborhood walking his dog and got arrested.
Jesus.
And it's just like, dude, like, what do you guys like?
We're just
fucking standing.
Did he not pick up the dog shit? Because we need to arrest these people.
I hate dogs, so honestly, I'd arrest them too.
Hey, Eleanor and Lola are right here, right now.
Yeah, I really can't stand either of those dogs, but particularly Lola.
They're pretty cute, dude.
Why not? Eleanor loves you. How dare you bite your tongue? How dare you?
But yeah, I mean,
I will say, this guy certainly does look like he's from LA.
Oh, you mean the guy that took that to the LA tattoo? He's from Arizona.
You can't see his Dodgers hat, but he's got that on. Chaos.
Yeah,
man.
Are you saying
that was one thing?
That's why when my friends were out protesting, like, come on. I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on. I just don't feel right. And I felt bad because I was like, it made me feel like I was pressured to go do the BLM thing. I'm like, I don't even know what this means, to be quite honest. I'm still trying to figure out what it even means.
It was.
But I had a feeling in my heart, and I was like, I don't want to go out.
It was dangerous.
It doesn't look good.
It was chaotic.
Where I'm sitting right now on my couch.
You know, you had to be willing to go out there and possibly be like, shit, I might get hurt.
Yeah, no thanks.
I've
been to Trump rallies.
The biggest fucking thing that I did, and don't get me wrong, there were fucking people out there that wanted to cause trouble, and I saw them.
Course.
I saw a guy take a bike chain, probably yay big, and the chains were probably that thick, and I saw him whip that thing. He was going like that, and he fucking hit the cop car, boom, and there was like 3 cops inside of the car, and he just whack, and the cops darted behind. It was just like the crazy, like
that's what I'm saying. That's what they're dealing with. They're dealing with that. So if you're out, you're only looking for trouble.
Yeah, there was some real, there was some real hardcore shit that was happening, and so it was a bad situation where lots of people were making shitty fucking choices. End with that one. Kobe Bryant.
He certainly ended with that one.
I wanted to talk about this one because I feel like you could blow this up, make it into a poster. A frame poster. So many people would put this in their home.
Is that the Kobe Bryant doing that, or is that somebody wearing his tank?
There was really nobody at Staples Center at this point. This is like really early in the process. So I was on 7th and Broadway. A jewelry store owner comes out and tells me, "Hey, dude, I think Kobe Bryant died." And I'm like, "I think we were died, dude. Just say all kinds of ridiculous shit on the internet." Yeah. And so I went there and he goes, "Dude, Kobe Bryant." I'm like, "He didn't die, man. Come on, dude. Where are you reading this shit?" He's like, "TMZ. TMZ never fucking lies." I'm like, "TMZ never lies." I'm like, "That's fucking bullshit. Dude. Come on." And so I get on the internet and I start looking around and I said, it's not the first. So TMZ said it. I said, the next person. It said like posted a minute ago. And it was TMZ and I said, that's fucking bullshit. This can't be real. And then I see one more place, dude. And I said, oh, okay. And then another place, and then another place. I said, holy shit, Kobe Bryant's actually fucking dead. This is like 30 minutes after they announced it.
I was actually really sad. I felt bad. The whole, like, his daughter and him, and then another guy, his daughter. Like, it's like 2 or 3 families that
this is what kicked off the worst year in American history. Kobe Bryant dying. And so I got to fucking Staples Center as quick as I could, and there was nobody there because the Grammys were going to happen that night. And so there were people in suits and photographers there. Yeah. And I was looking over and I was like, do they even fucking know what's going on? I was talking to these 2 other guys, just me and 2 other guys in front of Staples Center. And I was like, did you hear? And they were like, yeah, we had to figure out if it was real. And then sooner or later, more people started showing up. It was 2 other guys there first, and then it was me. And then this guy showed up shortly after. And maybe like 15 minutes after. And so he brought like a little set of flowers for the front. I have a photograph of that, but it didn't come out as good. And then I took a photograph of him with his hands on his head. And I was just like, holy shit, dude, this is fucking history. Holy shit.
Very sad.
This is fucking unbelievable.
I never even saw the guy play soccer, but I heard he was really good.
Yeah, when Charles Manson died, I went to the Staples Center and wept.
You went to the ranch, Spawn's ranch.
Yeah, he played for the Los Angeles Raptors.
But yeah, man, it was such a culture shock. I mean, it was just like
especially for LA, people are.
Yeah, I mean, like, I couldn't believe I was so close to Staples Center. I was like, I gotta get down to Staples Center. Fuck. And so I got there as quick as I could, and just. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't believe it. I was asking, how the fuck am I here right now?
Yeah.
In this moment. Fucking for this.
So did he get 4 funerals as well?
Okay.
4 funerals and a wedding. And Hugh Grant was at all of them.
But shit,
and it happened right before George Floyd, right?
Yeah, it was like
happened in January, dude.
It was like a few months.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it happened.
Our longtime listeners will remember that's when that girl at the weed dispensary had a crush on me and I didn't fuck her. Back in January, remember?
She had dreads.
You're going dreads.
White girl dreads. Now I remember.
Make sure that you follow this guy. All eyes on LA. Oh, fuck.
All eyes on me, LA.
We gotta go with drinks.
All eyes on me, LA. Great photographer. These are like action shots. They're so good. I feel like they're stills from a movie, and it's all from downtown LA, and it really is action shots. They're cool.
People are gonna look back on shit like this, you know.
It's all history.
A snapshot of the time period.
And especially with what the fuck's going on in downtown LA and all the homeless problem. It's not just downtown LA anymore. Like we said, it's spread everywhere now. So.
But other than that, yeah, thank you so much, man. I wanted to say, man, you really got to work on getting the gallery show going. I think that you would clean up with these
I'm gonna be
pictures.
honest, dude. I want to keep it as low key and as centered around what I want as possible. I don't want anybody to tell me, you know, you have to do this or you have to have this certain narrative.
But I just told you
approach me about narratives, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. Actually, approached me about a book they wanted to make me about Black Lives Matter, and they said, you know, we're going to be working with these charities, and I said I'm not doing it. You know, so I didn't tell them that, but I just I said no. It's not because I don't agree or I disagree. I just said I don't want my work hijacked.
Right.
3
That's
years.
the most dangerous shit.
Yeah.
I don't want my.
Well,
work.
they're gonna use it for their own propaganda.
I don't
You're
want
like, wait, I don't want to write off and all that. You know?
I don't want my work hijacked like that. I feel like anyone that does that, don't do it, dude. Like, don't let.
Well, you end up working for them.
Yeah, like, and I'm not trying to do that.
And then in a couple months, you'll be like, you'll have a PSA on your thing. Hey guys, there's people wearing masks. Put on your mask. Hey guys, get that vaccine. Like,
sometimes I feel like I probably have more followers if I did have a political narrative, but I just think it's so fucking lame.
Mm-hmm.
These people that go out there, so I feel like this motherfucker's
That's
out there.
That's the lamest shit ever. I can see right through it. I hate it when people have their own.
Yeah, I can't.
If you make fun of it, I love
it.
But
so fucking gay.
Yeah.
When you get out there and you have your own little narrative, you want to say what you want, and like. These people that like have opinions about shit that was going on in May with George Floyd and these riots, it was just like, you guys just
calm down.
You don't know, man.
Yeah, just look at the pictures.
You weren't even fucking there, man. Like these kids from like Nevada are these ultra conservative fucking podcasters from fucking Louisiana, these fucking losers.
Hey,
that's where I'm from. I'm literally a podcaster.
You know, you get to sit there and point fingers and make fun of people, but at the end of the day, you weren't fucking there. You're gay. Shut the fuck up. Fuck off.
Yeah,
and that's all I'm gonna say.
That's where we're gonna stop.